Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's BDF44 coming at you with another video. So we have Paul Millsap is going to be signing with the Brooklyn Nets. Another vet added to their power forward center position situation. Um, you know, this is one of those situations where I look at that and I say, well, do I like Paul Millsap's game? Of course. Paul Millsap is one of the more complete power forwards from his era. You know, guys who could stretch the floor and do pretty much everything before it was popular to do everything. So, with that being understood, even at this stage in his career, he could still do some things that could help your team, especially if you're the Brooklyn Nets. So, I like the acquisition. I think the question is he that much better than DJ? DeAndre Jordan, you know what I mean? Obviously, you like the idea that he could space the floor versus DeAndre Jordan, who does not shoot the ball, better shooting percentages, things of that nature. But you're swapping out one old guy for another old guy. I don't get it, to be honest with you, other than the fact that you just want to provide someone who could stretch the floor a bit from that position. So I don't know. It's fine, I guess. But to me, it just seems like he's like a lateral move from DeAndre Jordan at this point. He's not going to rebound as much. He's not going to be as physical, but he will shoot the three and shoot free throws better. So what are you going to do? I guess it is an upgrade if you want to look at it that way. So I mean, whatever. I don't really have much of an opinion because I don't think that he's adding or subtracting anything to what it is that they're going to bring to the table much. He's some depth, but I look at him as a player who's more so like going to help the coaching staff. He's going to help Steve Nash and those guys kind of with another voice in the locker room, another guy who can help them just with everything that they'll be facing matchup wise. That's what I think he brings to the table because, to be honest with you, they have high usage players just like the Lakers do. So any of the guys that they bring in on $2 million contracts not going to play very much. They may find themselves in key situations, playing well here and there, but I think their front court is going to be more focused on taking care of developing Claxton, developing Johnson, and the bigs that they've discovered that are really, really, really talented out of nowhere. You know, they got this young kid also, Cam. I wish I knew his last name, but he looks like a complete stud. Bruce Brown. So they got a lot of youth on this team, and I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of minutes for guys like Paul Millsap because once those big guys sit down, it should, in theory, be about the youth movement for their team to help carry some of the load so that guys like Harden and KD don't have to do everything for that team this year. They should not be as reliant upon those three players this year as they were last because those guys that they picked up, they got some guys, man. Patty Mills can go. So I like their bench and their overall cohesiveness better this year than last. So that's what I think. Paul Millsap ain't gonna play much. I don't think so. Blake Griffin is still very much a part of that rotation. Maybe he and Blake Griffin share minutes. Maybe they are kind of comparable to one another in some ways. So it is kind of exciting when you think about historically what they would have looked like if they were in their prime. You know what I mean? Just like the Laker team. You know, can you imagine if you had a prime Paul Millsap and a prime Blake Griffin in the same lineup? I mean, you talking about contenders anyway. So I haven't lost faith in the Nets. I still look at them as the other team the Lakers are going to have to face on the other side of things, and Paul Millsap doesn't hurt that at all. But I'm not sure he makes them that much better. You know, the running conversation for me in regards to the Nets lately is since Ben Simmons' contract is low, and since you're up for paying Kyrie Irving, wouldn't it be smart to consider what the price tag on Kyrie Irving would be in this trade? You know, you could bring back not only Ben Simmons, but maybe some other assets as well, including Tyrese Maxey, a young player who's capable of doing some things athletically that maybe the average guard can't do. Provide you a great deal of insurance if you decide to flip Ben Simmons once again and try to get some assets for him. You got something in place that can help KD and Kyrie in that kid Maxey going forward and give you some insurance past that. So even if you're bringing in Ben Simmons, in my mind, I'm looking to flip him again probably within a year. Like I'm not probably looking at him long term to keep with Kyrie and James Harden. I'm looking to move him again. But for this particular season, I think he's an upgrade from Kyrie Irving in some ways because he's going to turn you into a defensive team. a team that has superior defensive strengths, and that's what you do not have at all on your roster at this point, not to my knowledge. They got a lot of offensive, talent to say the least, but when it comes to stopping people, they're not going to be able to stop you. And if you remove Ben Simmons and if you remove Kyrie Irving and you bring in Ben Simmons, that changes. That changes dramatically because Ben Simmons can guard people, anybody basically. All about four out of the 5 positions he can guard effectively, and he roams well defensively. So he's going to help guys like KD, rim protection and stuff like that, rebounding. He's going to do things that Kyrie's not going to do. Now Kyrie, of course, does things that he doesn't do, but you have to take into account whether or not Kyrie will be available to you for whatever reasons, good or bad. So that's why I'm singing from the rooftops. That should be the trade there for Brooklyn, because I think they'll get a lot better real quick, as if they need to get better, but they will. So that's something to consider. Maybe you do that. But otherwise, right now, I haven't done a Brooklyn Nets video yet as far as breaking down their roster and everything, but it's really self-explanatory. I don't even think you really need to do a video on that team. They got 3 of the best offensive players ever assembled. They have a wealth of young players and old players alike. Young coaching staff, but veterans that should help that coaching staff. So if they don't win the championship, it's a colossal failure. And the only team that should be able to stop them from doing that is the one I root for, the Los Angeles Lakers. So as far as I'm concerned, that's what there is to say. And I think they get significantly better if they trade Kyrie. That's it. That's what I got. My name is BDF44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.